What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl is here to bring you the next video in her series of must have must gags. It's been a while, so let's just get into it. This series is inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series, and yeah, I always have her series linked down below, as well as the community playlist. I am a part of the community playlist, so if you would like to see somebody else other than myself talking about these items, then just feel free to look down in my description box. I also always have all of the items that I talk about linked and listed down below. Like I said, it's going to be a very long video. I haven't talked about any new makeup releases for about a month now. And a lot of this stuff I don't even know what it is because I have been out of the country for the past 2 weeks. So fun. Last disclaimer, and then we get right into it. I am currently on a no buy, so I will not be buying any of these items. It's just not something that I need right now, but I do still want to talk about it, talk about what I might use in my collection instead, etc, etc. So if you're interested in hearing my no buy opinions, then let's get into it. So we're gonna hope that I'm still halfway in focus. My camera followed me over here, so that's promising. I also don't know where to start off because I've been gone for a long time. So we're just going to start off with this. This is January 15th when it was posted from Trim Moon. It is 2 new palettes from Violet Boss. One of them is called Sweet Violet, which is of course all purples and a little bit of pinks. And the other one is just Vibes, which is a warm neutral palette. For Violet Boss, the purple one is definitely out of the box for them. I'm currently wearing their Crush palette. I just got that from my best friend for Christmas. And if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely choose the Sweet Violet, but I don't need that to my collection. I have enough pinks, enough purples, and I have a blurple somewhere in between. So yeah. ColourPop has released a Nude Mood Blush Crush collection, which is very neutral. It looks like one is a little bit more blushy tones, so neutral pinks, and then the other one is just neutral browns. They did some Just a Tint sticks and 2 of their huge body highlighters. As for the 2 palettes, they're both neutral. You guys know I'm not a huge neutral person, and I have quite a few neutral palettes for somebody who is not a neutral person, so it's easy pass on those. The Just a Tints, I actually am halfway interested in. Those are the types of products that I actually like to use at work when I don't have makeup on. I like to have a little bit of a tint on my lips as well as moisturization. So those might be something that I consider buying later. And the 2 highlighters, I'm good. I have enough highlighters. I didn't even put a highlighter on. That's how much highlighter I have today. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I have too much highlighter. Next, KKW Beauty released a Celestial Skies collection, where she released a new product, which is a lip crayon, which that type of formula has been out from a lot of brands. The only one I think that is still somewhere in my collection, not back here, but like somewhere in one of my bags, is my one product from Bite Beauty. I really enjoyed that product, but I don't need it anymore. I need to find it and throw it away. It's actually really, really old. She also has 2 trio blush palettes and 3 5-pan eyeshadow palettes. I hear that her eyeshadow palette formula is very, very nice, but just looking at these palettes, it looks like they're all shimmers, which is not my cup of tea. And I also don't like a palette that small, that condensed. I always find it hard to really do a plethora of looks with that. And then as for the 3-pan blush palettes, I think they're cute. I love the idea, but I don't think either of them will actually work on my complexion. So bada bing, bada boom. MAC has released their Loud and Clear collection. You guys know what I'm going to say. The only thing that I'm interested in from this whole collection are those glowy blushes or highlighters. Oh, they say it's highlighters, but the right color, I can put them on my cheeks. You guys know I don't mind a very glowy cheek area. So that would be the one thing that would go on my wish list and the one thing that I would like to grab from that collection. They're probably going to be the 24, aren't they usually $24.50? I bought, as you can tell, quite a few MAC blush products. I have quite a collection going, and I do enjoy all of them, so I wouldn't hate to bring in another one. Lime Crime has released 2 new eyeshadow palettes and some new liquid lipsticks as well. One is called Chroma. The next one is called Exposed. Exposed is a very neutral palette, especially for Lime Crime. They don't tend to do very neutral palettes, so that is something different. And Chroma has a weird color scheme. I actually kind of like it. So there's like a dark green, a light teal, a dark purple, a dark green shimmer, like a neutral matte that if people want to set their eyelids. Then there's a bronze, a copper, and like a champagne. I actually really like that palette. Let me know down below. I might consider doing a dupes video on that, because I think that that is actually a really interesting color scheme, and I would be interested to see if I can create any looks with that. Kylie released her Stormy collection, and I tend to actually think that her Stormy collections actually look halfway decent. With the eyeshadow palette, I think it looks nice. I think it's cute, but I know that the darkest shade is not going to be dark on my complexion, which is the only reason why I would not pick that up, because yeah, that is nice. Same with the blushes. I think there's multiple blushes. The blushes look nice, but they wouldn't do anything for me. And yeah, it's just continuing on with that. Hershey's did a collaboration with the Toot House for Valentine's Day. They have 2 eyeshadow palettes, both neutral, of course, because it's Hershey. If I had to pick between the 2, I would pick the darker one, just because that one would probably give me more of a contrast on my complexion. The cookies and cream wouldn't do anything for me. I think the brushes are cute, and the lip products are probably cute, but I probably already have shades like that, or they're both like reds. I don't really like red lip products, so yeah, it's an easy pass for me. But if I like had a gun to my head and I was like, which one would you choose, I would choose the Hershey's one. Too Faced has extended their Born This Way collection. I really enjoyed the Born This Way foundation. It's actually behind me somewhere back there. It's actually the one with the gold strip, that one. I really enjoy that foundation. It's a really nice natural finish, but it actually really matches my complexion, so I really enjoy that foundation. And they look to be coming out with trio compact highlighters. This is something that I think would be really good for somebody who's in high school and they want to get their first highlighter. You get 3 different shades, probably 3 different like not depths, but 3 different like shine levels, if that makes sense. I think that would be a really nice product to get. Like if I had a niece, I would get a niece something like this. Or if somehow I had somebody else who was younger and I wanted to get them like a makeup-y item and they were really into highlighter, I'd probably get them that. But I have literally a whole drawer, like a whole drawer full of highlighter. So this is not something that I need, nor are these shades interesting or unique enough for me to feel pressured to even get it. MAC collaborated with Coco Friends, and they did a collaboration. I think the bullets are beautiful, but I don't like the lipsticks. I am not a red person. It makes sense with the culture, because this is an Asian-based brand. To me, it looks like it's Korean. If I'm looking at, it looks Korean to me. Based on the, I'm on their Instagram, and I don't really know Korean, but just, oh no, well, they have a Tokyo store, but that does not look like Japanese to me. I'm going with Korean. I'm sticking with Korean on this one. Either way, I think something that MAC should really consider doing is doing limited edition bullets, but have replenishing like shades. I think that that's something that those really high-end brands have that is smart, and something like this where a lot of people would want it but maybe aren't a red person like I'm not, it wouldn't make sense for us to buy this bullet. But if they just released the shell of it, I think a lot more people would buy it and they would get a lot more revenue. Just in general, just my 2 cents. Okay, next we have all the stuff that I have pinned today, so sit back, get a drink. Actually, let me get a drink. Always like to stay hydrated. It helps with your skincare, so always drink water. Alrighty. So, starting off with the stuff that I pinned today, OPV Beauty has released a new, or I think maybe their first blush palette, and it's Born to Shine blush palette. I like the variety in this palette. You have 3 different pinks up top. You have a red, an orange, and a burgundy. I think this is a beautiful color scheme. I would be more interested to see. It says that it's a silky matte shimmery shades. What does that even mean? Does that mean it's shimmery? Does that mean it's silky? Or does that mean it's matte? Like what's happening here? I think with the variety, maybe there's a variety of matte finishes, maybe a natural toned finish or a natural finish and then a shimmery finish. For me, the only thing that I can really justify bringing into my collection is shimmery and natural finishes. I have way too many matte blushes, and I don't even check for my matte blushes, like at all. I don't check for them. I really like a glowy or at least a natural sheen to my base, which I actually have 2 blush combinations, which I have one of MAC's natural blushes, which is Flirting with Danger, and it's their mineralized blush, which has like a natural finish, and then I have like a shimmery blush from a Sephora palette kind of blended in with it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't really reach for my matte blushes. You can check. It's probably been 6+ months that I have reached for a matte blush. So that tells you how I'm doing. Jaclyn Hill has done another collaboration with Morphe. I don't know if it's out yet. I think it's just been revealed. No, it hasn't come out yet. It doesn't release until February 13th. It's a new eyeshadow palette. It's One Big Daddy palette, like her very first collaboration palette, I believe, with them. And I must say, this isn't a bad palette. I like the variety. I like that there's purples, oranges, some pinks, a black, some neutrals. And the neutrals aren't browns. They're like pinky neutrals, so they like browns with very strong pink undertones, so it really works with the whole color scheme. I think this is a very nice palette. I will say, her one look for the promotion. I think it's a very, very pretty look. I would actually consider redoing it with products that I already have. But I know me, I know that I don't particularly, I'm not a huge fan of Morphe's formula. I did enjoy the formula in her latest Big Daddy palette. I never tried the like Volt. I didn't try that just because everybody and their mother was like up in arms about it. So I wouldn't say, if you're interested in this palette and you can only afford like Morphe, or if you really do enjoy Morphe's formula, I think this is a really interesting color scheme. But am I gonna be lusting after it? Is it gonna go on my wish list? No. Sugar Pill has also come out with a new eyeshadow palette, and it's like a weird funky situation. It's very interesting packaging. The name of it, it's called the Capsule Collection Pink Edition. I'm curious if it comes, I'm assuming it all comes in this palette. You can't like change your palette. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can change your palette. I don't like it. The layout is not my cup of tea at all. And the colors, just looking at it, I don't get any inspiration. I'm assuming why they did it the way they did it is like, if you look at the very top of the palette, I'm assuming they're saying use these colors together and then some of the other ones together, and like this is like the color family. And either way, it's not bringing any inspiration to me via just looking at it, which means I'm not going to be checking for it if I ever purchase it. So that's definitely not going on my list. It looks like, I didn't even know, but apparently Too Faced released also in their Born This Way collection, they also released the Naturals Nudes palette. When did that happen? Am I late? Is that a very old palette, or is that something new that I just missed? Either way, it's a very neutral palette, as it suggests. Not something that I would be interested in, but if you're one of those people who needs a neutral palette for like every day, I think this might actually work for you. I do have 2 Too Faced palettes. They're both in their chocolate bar formula, but I do enjoy that formula, and I believe they've made that kind of their general formula. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it might be something that would interest you if you're looking for it. Sephora looks to be expanding their brand range and will be putting Zoeva in the brand in their stores, which means Zoeva will be online. I'm excited. There are quite a few things from Zoeva that I've always been interested in. I've always wanted to try their brushes. I've always wanted to try some of their glowy blushes as well. And I think there's like one or two palettes that I was halfway interested in as well. So this is exciting news for me because I would potentially be able to start trying a new brand that I have been interested in trying. I just did not want to pay, or I just kind of, it was always backburnered when it came to like international purchases. Clinique did a collaboration with Kako Friends. Didn't I just talk about them? I think I just talked about them. Anyways, Clinique did a collaboration with them on their blush pops. I am not going to fall for this at all. I fell for the hype. A lot of people I was following on YouTube and everywhere was just really hyping up Clinique's blush pops, and I thought, oh, well, I want it. I think this is a really nice color. Let me buy that. They don't work for me. Now, check it out. Check it out. Now, disclaimer, I only tried one cheek pop, but it was like one of those things where everybody says just pick a color you want and it's going to work perfectly, and it didn't. I think Clinique's cheek pops are just not designed for somebody with my complexion. I need a lot more pigment, and I need the pigment to stick, and those blush pops just were not sticking whatsoever. I'm pretty sure I still have it in my declutter bin, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that bin because none of my friends are really checking for any of that stuff. So we'll see what happens. But either way, it's an easy pass for me on that whole collection. MAC is also coming out with a Petal Power collection. I'm assuming this is more of their, no, this is their Cherry Blossom collection. They have some red lip products, maybe some pinky sheer lip products, not for me. They have a Prep and Prime, probably for their lips, not for me. And then there's like a highlighter, maybe some lip glosses. None of it is really my cup of tea, but I do like the aesthetic. I will say that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I do need a new, I'm almost out of my my Prep and Prime, but I think I have one or two finishing sprays back there that I could use as like my equivalent for Prep and Prime. So I will keep this so that I can renew it with my mom and me. We both we save our stuff and then we'll get a lipstick or whatever. So we'll see what happens. I don't, that was a really random tangent. Okay, let's keep going. Vanity Makeup Cosmetics is apparently releasing some sculpting palettes. They look to be cream. Are they cream? Yeah, they have to be cream. Okay. They're cream sculpting palettes where you get a sculpting cream, a highlighting cream, and a glow cream. They have 5 different shades, and they range from fair to dark. I'm assuming I would be the dark, but to be quite honest, it's hard to assume that when they're swatching it on somebody lighter than me. They do have like a panel where they show the product on somebody's complexion and then they show the result. So theoretically this would be a nice product. I have not found that I am a huge cream highlighter fan. The other 2 products I actually might use, although I don't use, oh, that would just be like concealer. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't use the whole palette, so for me this would not be a good buy. But if you do like cream products overall, it might be a good buy. This is apparently a new brand, so I would wait until somebody that you follow reviews it and see how they enjoy it, but you never know. It's been 20 minutes and I'm nowhere near close, I don't think, to finishing. Good thing. Pat McGrath will be coming out with some more complexion products. She's coming out with, looks to be concealers and 3 new brushes, which are synthetic, vegan, and special angles. Okay, to mimic goat hair. Okay, that's why it's special angles. Okay, for the concealer, I think I've never tried her foundation. I just never got around to it, and I just can't be bothered to go into a Sephora to ask for samples. I just can't. But I'm assuming if you like the foundation, you'll most likely like the concealer. That's generally how it works. So I would love to see some of those people who did enjoy the concealer or the foundation review it, but also those who did not. So I'm interested to see how people do with that. I do tend to buy more concealers because I go through them, but I also don't hoard them nearly as much as I do hoard foundations. Currently, I'm using this terrible concealer, which is from Full Spectrum. I hate it, but I'm gonna get through it. As for the brushes, I heard that a lot of people didn't like her first range of brushes. They thought they were scratchy and just not the goat. So your girl ain't gonna take her money and spend on it. Just, I'm not about it. And there also seems to be some powder product of some sort. It's in a pan. I don't know what it is. So Trim Mood's description does not say what it is. Oh yeah, it does. It says that it's an under eye powder. That's interesting. I don't need any more powders. I have quite a few powders, both up here that I truly want to keep and then over here that I'm trying to get through. But it's interesting. I will be intrigued. I will be intrigued to see what people think about it. Bobbi Brown has done a collaboration with Mora Myrushko. Child, I don't know who that is. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm sure I did. She came out with a highlighter, an eyeshadow palette, and a couple of bullet lipsticks. I have 2 highlighters from her. I ended up breaking them and kind of mashing them together to create 2 separate highlighters for me and my best friend. I enjoy it, but it's not something that I need. Plus, it takes a lifetime to get through her highlighters, so your girl is good. The 2 lip products, they look basic, nothing truly unique, so I am good. And same with the eyeshadow palette. It's a warm neutral palette. BH Cosmetics is coming out with a new blush palette. It looks like maybe a couple of different variations, because I see one that's basically all neutrals. Oh yeah, oh wow, it's quite a few. Okay, it looks to be 9 different blush palettes. Wow. Okay, well that's nice because you can see different depths and varieties. If I could choose one, to be honest, I would choose that very darkest one because that looks like it'd be a really good bronze palette. I'm just saying. Let's see how on the person that's swatching it, it looks like one. So it's called the Chocolate Marshmallow Truffle. That's the one that I'm talking about. The like one looks like it could be a decent neutral blush for me. Then the other 3 actually look like they could be really nice bronzers on different days, different occasions. The one actually looks like a really dark purple, so I probably wouldn't use that as a bronzer, but the other 2, maybe. Who knows? It's a really nice blush palette, I think. And BH Cosmetics is never too expensive. It's only $12. So I think that would be something nice. I would get some use out of it. Whether I need it is debatable, but so far that's the one thing that I'm like, thank you. Savetia is doing a collaboration with the Bride of Frankenstein. I actually think that's a really cool concept. And they look to be doing some lip products. I think that's all that it is. It's just a couple of lip products and maybe there's a compact mirror, which is $14.99, and then there's lip duos, which are $30 each. You get 2 lip duos where you get a liquid lipstick and semi-matte lipstick for both. So the first one looks to be, the liquid lipstick is a dark velvet red matte, and then the other one is an olive green semi-matte. And then the second duo, you get a cool gray liquid lipstick with purple undertones, and then you get a rich plum lipstick. If I could choose between the 2, I would definitely get volume 1 without a doubt, because it has a green lip product and a violet red, and looking at the swatches, it's pulling more violet than red. So that one's more up my color scheme, although I would like all 4 of them, I'm not gonna lie. But if I had to narrow it down, I think this is a really cool concept. And especially because it's around Valentine's Day, I like that it's like a dark kind of gothic-y type of Valentine's Day gift. I think the compact mirror is beautiful. I'm assuming this is an indie brand. which I am now going to follow because that's cool. But yeah, I really like that product as well. So we have two products that I am interested in. Now we have another Valentine's Day collection from this is from Urban Decay. Oh, okay. It is called the Wired palette, which is their pressed pigment palette for $39. And they also have some pencils that are $22, and they have a liner, double-ended liner, which is $22 as well. I have tried Urban Decay's waterline liner. I did not like it. It walked away from, like literally walked away from my eye within a minute. So it's a wrap on that. As for the palette, as much as I would love to get it, I have a press palette that I actually won in a giveaway and I barely use it from them. So it doesn't seem logical for me to get this. And then on top of that, the color scheme is not really, I'm not really checking for the color scheme. Viseart will be coming out with their Valentine's Day collection, and it looks to be called, what is it called? There's no name. How are you giving us give us a name? Maybe the Gentile Vitality of Paris? Maybe that's the name. Well, it's an eyeshadow palette that is cool toned in manner. Cool toned, very cool toned pinks, purples with like a gray in there, and then there's some lip products as well. I think it's cool. I think this would definitely be unique in my collection, but I don't think it's something that I would get any use out of at all. Physicians Formula has done another box collection with an Instagrammer or a YouTuber, and it's called the Rose All Day collection. There's like a glowy blush, a glowy highlighter, and 4 eyeshadows with, what is that? With a lip color and a perfume. The glowy blush maybe, but I'm pretty sure Physician Formula has those in singles. I could always just try that in a single. ColourPop has released a collection called the URQT. What does that mean? QT? Quarter time? Oh God, I'm old. Anyways, it has the eyeshadow palette, 2 Super Shock cheek products, a lip balm, a lip scrub, and mascara duo. Out of all of this, I would be checking for that Super Shock cheek duo, which is $18 or $14. I wish they came back with their they had like palettes with duos. I wish they came back with that, but I think this is like their equivalent now. And it looks to have one like satin blush and one shimmery blush. I would love to get that duo. That duo would be nice. Do I need it? No. I have plummy blushes and I do, but that would be the thing that I'd be interested in. I will say that the palette actually does look unique for ColourPop. It's not super neutral. I don't think I would particularly get a lot of use out of it. Just looking at it, there's a few too many browns, and then the other mattes just they're not my cup of tea, but it definitely is unique for ColourPop. Fenty is releasing a couple of new products as well. She's released a refreshing spray. Oh, that's interesting. It's $30. I wonder how much product you get in there for $30. But she's also releasing 2 of the shades from her holiday collection, which of course are the shades that the one shade that I wanted, not the other shade. I wanted the orangey shade as well, but she's releasing the chocolate shade, the hot chocolate, which is the one that I was interested in. I've already gone through a full size of a Fenty gloss bomb, so I will definitely be buying that full size of that hot chocolate lip balm because I really enjoyed that formula. And I don't think I have I don't have a shimmery brown gloss that is similar or even checking for that same situation. ColourPop also released another collection for their actual Valentine's Day collection, and this palette actually reminds me of the X's and O's palette. That's what I thought it was originally, but clearly it's not. They also have some Just a Tints, some, what else is there? Just a Tints. They have some gel liner and color set. They have a face mist, some false eyelashes, a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch. I don't need any of it. I'm pretty content passing this whole kit and caboodle. P. Louise is coming out with their Valentine's Day collection. I will say I am happy at the fact that P. Louise doesn't release too much new stuff, and if it do, it's always their liners. I still have yet to try their brand, but that's purely because of the stuff that I heard, and I just am not checking for them. I'm not, but I did feel I should talk about this palette. It is a pretty customary, normal Valentine's Day palette. So you get reds, you get pinks, you get one coral, some blacks, some browns, call it a day. It also looks like you have two highlighters on the ends of the palette, and you get she's also coming out with some new of her liner situation, or her base. I've never tried her base. I've never tried her eyeshadow palette. I don't think I'm ever going to try her brand. It's just one of those brands I'm just not checking for. Makeup and Murder has released her Valentine's Day palette, and it is the Partner in Crime eyeshadow palette with a crime scene cleaning evidence sponge. This brand has just not been what I thought it was going to be, and this palette is just not something that I need, so it is that simple. Natasha Denona has come out with her Valentine's Day collection. She came out with what looks to be like her mini big eyeshadow palette, and then a new blush palette. I don't think she hasn't come, yes she did. She had one blush palette like this originally, and it had like the red, and people were freaking out about the red. Now she has more of a pinky color scheme. I think for me, I would just more so jive with the red one, but I would be interested to see people review it. I haven't seen anybody review it, but that's honestly because I haven't been checking YouTube, so I need to get that together. But I would be intrigued to see somebody my complexion try this blush palette to see if the two, the diamond powder and the super glue, what they look like. I do have a gift card to Beautylish, which I don't even know how much it is, but I think it would actually cover that. We'll see. We'll see. Kiko Milano has come out with what looks to be a Tuscan Sunshine collection. So I think it's around summer in their neck of the woods. It has an eyeshadow palette, a blush palette, and some single highlighters with some other kind of tangential products. The one thing that halfway caught my eye was the blush palette, but I know it's not going to work on my complexion. The eyeshadow palette looks pretty, but I'm not gonna buy from Kiko Milano for that, and I have stuff that is that color scheme if I'm truly dying for that. ABH has released some new minis in her Norvina line. The first one is wait, why is it trying to say this is their collection? This is their mini, their third mini. That's what's going on. Okay, and it's the cherry version. It's a very interesting color scheme. I would not have thought to put blue with red. Not that it probably won't come out beautifully. I haven't seen anybody done any looks. I don't know if it's available. Yeah, it's already available for purchase. So it's available on the 31st. So I'm surprised I haven't seen any looks with this, but I'll be intrigued to see what it looks like and see if I like that color scheme. I'll probably just use my own palettes or my own singles and dupe this palette out. MAC has also come out with some more blushy products, and it's called the Glow Play Blush line, which is an ultra smooth cushiony blush, which creates a flawless, radiant look when applied with fingers or a brush. So it is a cream formula, which is interesting. I would assume they started this range off in the Asian market, and then now they're bringing it to kind of the Western market. Am I interested? I do enjoy a cream blush. I believe at this point I have 2 cream blushes. I enjoyed the one that I have. I'll be intrigued to see how diverse this range is. I know the one that I can remember vividly is a very predominant like burgundy blush. I do really enjoy that blush, and a lot of people were raving about it, so I'd be intrigued to see what people think about this blush range as well. Dominique Cosmetics has released a new blush palette, or a new eyeshadow palette, I'm sorry. It's the Latte 2 palette, and this is, as it would suggest, the second latte palette that she has released in her range. This one, I like it. There definitely are a lot of browns, but I like the pops that she provides. I really love that mustard, and I think the pink and the teal also play a really nice role with some of the shimmers. I like this palette. I like this palette. I think this might be the first palette that I purchased from her, which is saying a lot, but I like it. I want to see the reviews. I know her last palette, she had some stumbling blocks, so I'll be intrigued to see what the formula for this palette is and how people are liking it. Pinky Rose has come out with a new eyeshadow palette. It's called the Luscious Plum palette. No. And she also came out with the Sunflower palette. No. Midas Cosmetics has officially released, and I believe, yeah, they've launched their pre-launch for their collaboration with Smoky Glow. And I'm very happy for Hannah. Congrats, Hannah. It's a lip gloss trio. Then there is a highlighter duo, and there's also an eyeshadow palette. I don't need the highlighter duo, although I think it's pretty. Will it work on my complexion? It's debatable, but I think it's pretty. The lip gloss trio is cute, but I'm not a huge lip gloss person. I don't need to bring 3 in at once. And as for the eyeshadow palette, I don't like the glittery black. I don't like the glittery black, and although I think I could get pretty looks out of it, it's not something unique or something that's really driving me to really purchase it. Bare Minerals has come out with a completely new collection. It's called the Beauty of Nature collection, which it has their lipsticks. I have one of their lipsticks. Beautiful formula. Beautiful formula. The Gin Nude blushes, I don't believe, I do have one of those. I actually do enjoy that formula as well. And it's like a really dark plummy shade. So overall, if you're checking for this, I would recommend it. And the Fancy Face has tried the eyeshadow palettes in this similar range, and she liked those. So I think if this is something that is calling to you, go for it. Whether I'm gonna get it, no ma'am. I'm gonna talk about this later. I already talked about this. Makeup Geek officially relaunched, and they switched to the square pans, which I know a lot of people were not checking for at all when they did their Vivids. I believe that's what they called it. They're really colorful pans, which were originally in the square palettes or square pans, and they also originally came out with these Z palettes. But now that they have relaunched, all of their shades are in those funky square pans. For me, this is all too neutral. All of these shades are just too neutral. There's nothing unique in any of these shades at all for me. So it's gonna be a complete pass, but I am intrigued to see where Marlena brings this brand. I do have quite a few items from them that I actually do enjoy. So I will be intrigued to see what happens. I already talked about this, right? I think I already talked about this. I don't know. I've been talking for a millennium at this point. Dose of Colors has come out with Stone and Truffle sets. where you get a lip liner, a liquid lipstick, a velvet mousse, and a lip gloss. I think these are some of their most coveted lip shades. I don't think either of these would work for moi, but go for it if you want for it. I mean, and they're not variations that I would prefer. If I'm gonna go for a neutral, I'm typically gonna go for a brown neutral, hence the lip that is on today. That's just what I gravitate for. I don't gravitate towards peachy or pinky neutrals, and I've learned that. I have learned that. Nomad Cosmetics came out with 2 new palettes for their range, and this one it's called the California Surf Stack. The California Surf Shack palettes. They're 2 quads, and you guys know I'm not a huge fan of quads. And this is a brand that I love. I have 2 palettes from them. I love them both. I wish I could get all of their palettes at this point. I really do. These 2 palettes, I don't know. The one palette is all mattes. The Malibu palette, I believe, is the one that's all, no, sorry. The Encinitas palette, that one is the one that's all mattes. The other one, Malibu, is the one that has the greens, that has one shimmer. I think I would gravitate personally more towards that green quad. I really like the greens, and that one green is funky. Hideout, can I just have Hideout? Is that a thing? Like, I'm just saying. Anyways, that would be the one palette that I would gravitate towards the most. But I also I'm intrigued by their shade Hang. Either way, I will most likely be getting that one palette, Malibu, when I'm done with my no buy. You guys know that has been one of the brands last year that, like, I loved it. I loved the brand. Salt New York is coming out with the new palette. Now, they already had one palette, which, if I remember correctly, there was some controversy about that palette, but that's neither here nor there. They had one big palette that they said was perfect for traveling because you can put whatever Z palettes in it. A lot of people promoted that, and they also did their like Kickstarter for that. And now they have a smaller palette where you can put 4 creams in. I'm not traveling with a cream, and you have a palette that's purely for traveling that has creams. How often are you traveling that you're gonna have cream? Like, it just, no. So I'm not checking for it at all. No. I don't know if I talked about this, so I'm just gonna talk about it now. Amy Hart's Beauty did her collaboration with Alma, and it actually came back in stock. I don't know. Wait, what did I say with Alma? No, the palette's name is Alma. Amy Hart's Beauty did a collaboration with Amy Hart's Makeup. That's what happened here. The palette's name, or the collection, yeah, the palette's name is Alma. Oh Lord. And it came back in stock. I don't know if it's currently in stock anymore. It was a palette where I wanted to buy it just to support Amy, but it's not something that I'm really dying to have. I don't really like those type of cool tone purples on my complexion. I can pull it off, and when I get them in my collection, I wear them well and I wear them, but like, I don't reach for those on automatically. Cleonade Cosmetics has released more products in their stained glass collection, as well as they did a kind of collaboration with Angelica where they did Angelica's favorites in a collection as well. I would love to get some more of the stained glass collection. I think I have about 6 or so of their stained glass, and I love them all. I would love to get more though. I would. I really would. Tater Rounds has released some mascaras. I have an indie brand's mascara somewhere, and like, I don't have 2. I had 2, but one broke. So I would be intrigued to try it. I really do enjoy my one yellow mascara from ColourPop. I don't know if it's still good. Yeah, it's still good.
I don't know why I smell it.
But I would love to try some of the other colors from Tater Rounds. So that would be an interesting add-on to my collection. And the last thing that I have to show you guys is the Enduring Love palette from Sydney Grace. It's already launched, and it is a very, very neutral palette. I would love to support Sydney Grace. I love their formula. I have an obscene amount of their singles, but I can't with these neutral, I can't. I can't. So yeah, we ended up finding quite a few things that I am actually interested in. I mean, we have the mascara, we have the one palette from Nomad Cosmetics, we have the Dose of Colors palette, we have the one new line from MAC when it comes to blushes. We have, what else? The liquid lipstick, the lip gloss from Fenty. We have the duo blushes from ColourPop. We have the blush palette from BH Cosmetics. We have the Frankenstein lip volume situation. What else? We have quite a bunch of things that I am halfway checking for, which is actually really, really nice. It's good to know that I'm still actually interested in makeup, because at one point I thought I wasn't, but I am. So these are good things. This has been quite a long video. It's probably going to be an hour. It's going to take me a while to record this. Edit this. I am recording this on Saturday, so this should be up on Sunday, and it will start the launch of me actually uploading on this channel again. I'm sorry. I will be giving you guys an update, but I'm sorry. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy.